And again, today marks 15 years since the super tornado outbreak of 2011. Over 360 tornadoes tore across 21 states. The South was hit the hardest, particularly in Alabama, Mississippi, and into Tennessee. It's a day etched in memories forever, as it is among one of the deadliest and most destructive severe weather outbreaks in American history. James Spann, chief meteorologist of Alabama Weather Network, joins us now to discuss his very own experience covering this outbreak. James, we really appreciate your time jumping on with us here on Fox Weather this afternoon. Can you take us back to those days? What was your experience like covering this outbreak with the overwhelming amount of damage?
Well, going into the day, we knew that it would be bad, but really and truly, you don't know what the atmosphere is going to deliver until it happens. And we actually had 2 rounds of storms that day here. We had one early in the morning, and that in itself was horrible. We had 5 fatalities. We had massive infrastructure damage. But then the big event occurred during the afternoon and evening. And in my state, we had 62 tornadoes in one day, 62 in one day. And the death toll in my state was 252. And that's absolutely inexcusable for anybody in the weather enterprise, anybody in the public. These were precious people that died. Some were infants, some were elderly, some lived in cities, some lived way out in the country. It affected every people group, every ethnicity. And I think what we learned that day is the fact that what we do, physical science, is simply not enough. I did not understand human behavior in social science like I should have in 2011. So we worked really hard to integrate social science into physical science and take this interdisciplinary approach. So I think one good thing that happened after April 27, 2011 is that combination of physical and social science, because we cannot let this type loss of life happen again.
And you mentioned it. I mean, you knew days in advance, looking into this forecast, knowing it was going to be a really tough day for the South. And what was kind of going through your head when you were looking at this setup, when you're looking at the atmospheric conditions leading up to this event? What were you thinking as a meteorologist and also as a person part of the community?
Well, you have to think about the right messaging. You can't scare people. You can't use fear. You can't be a fear monger. But at the same time, you got to use bold language. You've got to tell people this is a day where most likely we will have violent, long track tornadoes. You have to be able to hear warnings. You have to. We messaged that for days leading up to the event. And I think a lot of people did listen and respond. And listen, there should be a day to celebrate the lives saved because the warnings were excellent. 62 tornadoes in this state in one day. The warnings could not have been better. But in some cases, the lead time was 30, 40 minutes. But again, it goes back to that lack of understanding of the social science side of this, and that we don't really understand human behavior. But I think we're much better at it today than we were back in 2011. But during the day itself, listen, there's no book, there's no manual on how to work a tornado outbreak where you've got multiple strong, violent tornadoes down at the same time. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 EF4s, EF5s, same time. Which one do you focus on? How much attention do you pay to this one, to that one? Do you use video from this, audio from this? I don't know. And I look back on it, and I just missed it. I missed the magnitude of the event because I was so busy. It's much like those Apollo mission controllers that got us to the moon back in the 60s. They were so busy, they missed it. I missed April 27, 2011 because I was so busy looking at so many streams in the field, Weather Service chat sessions with all of the reports. And social media was young, but we used it back then. And in a way, I'm glad that I missed the emotion of the day because, quite frankly, after this event, I chose not to speak about it for 6 months. And people that know me, I'm a loudmouth. I've always got something to say about everything weather-related, but I needed some time to grieve. I needed some time because these are my people. They died on my watch. I'm the oldest guy here. I've been here a long time, and I needed to go through the phases of grief. I went through anger and depression, which is not my thing. But I came out of it wanting to fix it, and I'm extremely motivated. In fact, to this day, I've memorized almost every single name. 252 names that died that day. Wow. That's what motivates me, and the fact that we, as a weather enterprise, have to get better. And I'll tell you now, the number one reason people died that day, we've learned this in social science, it was the siren mentality, the notion that people are going to hear some air raid siren like it's World War II. That's ridiculous. You'll never hear a siren in a house, in a business. You cannot rely on a siren. That killed more people than anything else. And we've got to get people with a weather radio in their home. We've got to have wireless emergency alerts enabled on phones. And the second reason people died that day was the lack of helmet use. And I knew it. I knew it going into that day, based on all the years I've been here, in that putting on a simple bicycle helmet, a batting helmet, a motorcycle helmet, that can save your life. And I didn't say it once, and shame on me for not saying that once. But that's critical, putting on a helmet. Most people that lose their life in tornadoes, blunt force trauma above the shoulders. And the other thing, and I'll stop here, I could talk a long time about this. The other thing that was a big problem, the false alarm ratio. It was out of control. The false alarm ratio at the Weather Service in Birmingham in 2011 was 0.83. 83% of tornado warnings were false alarms. We're better than that. And Kevin Laws, the science operations officer in Birmingham, went to work, back to basic science. And by golly, Kevin's got that FAR, the false alarm ratio, down in the 30s. I never thought it would be that good in my life. So I look back on this, as horrible as the day was, I think it's made us better. In fact, I know it's made us better in the weather enterprise.
Yeah, absolutely, James. I can't even imagine having to, be in this community and knowing these people, these neighborhoods that are completely destroyed after an event like this. But you're right. I mean, we can take this and we've learned from it over the years and we've gotten better and better. But James, we really appreciate you taking your time, telling us about your experience on that fateful day. Again, James Spann, Chief Meteorologist of the Alabama Weather Network. Thanks again for joining us here on Fox Weather.
My pleasure.